Hi, my name is Sherry Sutton, and I want to tell you a little bit about a project that we're doing in Tampa called Connect and Propel Tampa 2019. And so this is a summit process that we've put together using appreciative inquiry. And so first I'm going to tell you what a summit process is because the word summit's used a lot, so I want to tell you what we mean by a summit. So our summit requires that we have a steering committee that we put together, and the steering committee defines the task or what we want to accomplish at the summit. And then we actually start planning the summit, and we do this with working groups that we create out of the steering committee. And then after we have the summit, then we'll have post-summit working groups. So in the summit, everyone gets together, talks about their ideas of what's possible. They create post-working groups to go out in the community and make it happen. And then a lot of times the post-working groups will go back and have a summit of their own. So they'll actually branch back into a steering committee. So that's really the process. There's a steering committee that plans the summit, and then there's post-summit work groups that come out of the summit, and then some of those branch into this same process again. So let's break this down a little bit and talk about how we plan to use the summit process in Tampa. So I want to start with how the idea started. And so the idea actually started when Micah Chevarria was certified in appreciative inquiry. He was at Case Western Reserve University with David Cooperrider and Ron Fry, and as he was going through the program, he learned of different summits and different projects that these experts had worked on. One of the projects that they worked on was called Sustainable Cleveland, and you can actually look it up, sustainablecleveland.org. And it was this amazing process where they worked with the city of Cleveland, and they really worked on improving some of the things in the city that they wanted to improve. And as Mike was learning about it, he asked himself the question, what would happen if they used the same process and framework in a city that was thriving, in a city that was really doing very, very well and had amazing things happening already? And so that gave him the idea of bringing appreciative inquiry to Tampa. He also learned that David Cooperrider has residency in Longboat Key for part of the year, and so since he's really in our backyard, it became an idea that made sense. And so we have hired David Cooperrider, and we have hired from the Cooperrider Center Dr. Lindsay Godwin and Prue Sullivan to come to Tampa November 4th, 5th, and 6th of 2019 and bring the appreciative inquiry process and the summit. So let me tell you what that means for us. We started out with a steering committee. So we had 45 diverse people that came together and they shared their thoughts, ideas, dreams, hopes, possibilities, experiences, expertise, and they really talked for a day and a half at Hyde Park United Methodist Church is where we met, and they spent this time talking about what was possible in Tampa and do we want to do a project like this? And unanimously everybody said, yes, this is amazing. We love the fact that everybody has a voice. We love the fact that everybody has input, and we really like that we work together to do this. So we created 5 working groups and 1 rapid advancement team. And so I'd like to tell you a little bit about the groups and how you could be involved in a group if you would like. So the groups are the Designing Values team, and they really worked on designing the values that this project would stand for. The Task Logo team, which really talked about creating this task of what would happen and the logo that they're working on right now. So that's still in process. The Stakeholder working group, and they are working on who would come to a summit for the task. A pre-summit momentum group that will really help us launch the summit, have our social media campaigns, get the word out there, and get ready for a summit. The post-momentum group, and they're really working on once we have a summit, then we're going to have all of these ideas come forward, and when we do and we have these working groups working out of Tampa, then they're going to need help and guidance and support, and the post-summit working group is going to work to do that. And then we have the rapid advancement team. And the rapid advancement team helps us with budgeting. It helps us if we need to hire anybody, if we need to make decisions on anything. And they really are there to make sure that it remains a nonpartisan group of a diverse group of people, that we don't have any one person carrying any weight, or the project isn't geared towards one group over another, that we make sure that it's an equal level playing field at all times. So the Designing Values Working Group was the first group that came together in the summit. And I say draft for the Designing Values because they're not finalized yet, but we started out with the values of inclusive, respect, integrity, hope, curiosity, joy, and history, meaning that we would be true to the history of Tampa and what's happened here. So we are meeting now to finalize these values for the project. And once they're finalized, we'll actually have training for every member of this project to really understand not only what the values are, but what they mean to this group and how the project always needs to be aligned to the values first. So that's a really exciting part about this project. It'll be value-based work, and that we really truly believe that these values are important. Once they're done, and I put this up here in process, the task logo group will incorporate those values into the work that they're doing. So this project started with the name I Am for Tampa. And then when we were at the steering committee, we talked about having the task of green, grounded, and growing, and we called it Greater Tampa Together. And so now we're in the process of calling it Connect and Propel Tampa 2019, because we really feel like that is more in line with where we want to go, which is to connect and propel Tampa Bay. And so once this work is complete, we'll be able to update it and let you know exactly what the final name is and what the final task is from this group. But it's very exciting to watch it evolve, and we're working with feed forward. So it's always a process that's moving. Our stakeholder working group is anxiously awaiting to start their work. And what they'll do is, once we define the task of the summit and we really let the stakeholder group know what we want to talk about, what we want to achieve, and what our objectives are, then they will work on making sure that we have the right people at the summit to be able to make those decisions. So they're going to make sure that we have diverse groups, that we have governments and business and nonprofits and philanthropists and sports teams and entertainment and the arts community. They'll make sure that we represent the religious groups and the faith organizations of our community, that we have environmental groups there, that we have education there, transportations there. So they'll really make sure. And the other thing that the stakeholder working group will do is they'll make sure that we have all levels of the organization. So they won't just invite all CEOs or all frontline workers, but they're going to ask that you bring different employees from different levels in your organization so that we get the right feedback to make sure that we're really including everyone in the community. So they'll have a very important task and very exciting work to do. Now the Pre-Summit Momentum Group, they can't wait to get started, and you're going to see them on Instagram and Facebook and YouTube and Twitter, and they'll be out there in the community with campaigns, and they'll be talking to neighborhood associations, and they'll be working with different groups to build the energy and the momentum and to really let people know what the project is capable of and how to become part of it. Unfortunately, we'll only have 800 seats in the summit, which sounds like a large number, but they will get filled up very quickly. So we want to make sure that we do a really good job in letting as many people know as possible what we're doing pre-summit so they can get involved at the work post-summit, even if they're not able to attend summit. And then the post-summit momentum group, they're going to work with all of the design teams that come out of the summit. So in Cleveland, they had over 25 groups that came out of the summit with projects that they wanted to do to make their community better. And at the end of 1 year, not only did all 25 groups have positive momentum, but they had additional groups that formed because they were so excited about the work that they came on board and created projects to help the community. So the post-summit momentum is really important to help the project groups with funding, with grants, in communication, getting their word out there, getting connected, and getting the work done. So this is really where the work happens. And so we're really excited that we have a post-momentum group that's so excited to get started. So the Rapid Advancement Group, I talked to you a little bit about them. They are working right now. They kind of serve, we call them like an executive committee for the steering committee, though they're not executives on the committee. But they're going to review the budgets. They're going to validate our transparency. They're going to make sure we do what we say we're going to do. And they are really there to ensure that we have diversity, that we review the plans, that we get the best possible deal when we're working either with a place to have our meetings or contracting with vendors and getting things done. And as the project manager, I really report to the Rapid Advancement Group, and they just make sure that we're staying on track and that everything's happening the way it should be. And the great part about all of these working groups is anyone is welcome to join at any time. Everything that every working group does is completely transparent. The notes are available to you, the agendas are available to you, and the outcomes of what the group accomplishes are available to you. So it's a really exciting process. So, as you see, the steering committee, the working groups, and the rapid advancement group all work together. And what's the most exciting about this project is we'll have an advisory council. And in this picture here, you will see, I don't know if you know Chris Davis from the Dream Center, he was there with us, and so you'll see his picture. This is Sandra Brower, and she came down from Albany, New York, because she's working on another project using appreciative inquiry and wanted to see the great work that we're doing here in Tampa. This is Dr. Lindsay Godwin, and she is the director of the Cooper Ryder Center at Champlain College. This is David Cooper Ryder, and David Cooper Ryder founded or co-created Appreciative Inquiry in 1986 at Case Western Reserve University. So he is the world-leading expert in Appreciative Inquiry and just an amazing person. This is me. And this is Prue Sullivan, and Prue Sullivan works with the Champlain College and the Cooper Ryder Center in Burlington, Vermont, and she has experience in an organization using appreciative inquiry and is just a dynamic presenter and has a wealth of knowledge that she's going to share with us. And this is Mike Echevarria, and he's the visionary that brought this project to Tampa Bay. So, where do you fit in? So that's a great question that people ask. They say, I really want to get involved in the project, or I'm really interested in learning more, and we would love for you to be involved. We would love for you to learn more. So if you want to learn more, you can contact me, Sherry at positiveimpactforce.com, and I can talk to you a little bit about where you can connect and where each member is meeting, and I can get you signed up on the Open platform. Open is a community platform that was created by USF St. Pete, and we are housing our project on Open. And so once we get you set up on Open, you do need a Gmail account to join Open, and Gmail accounts are free. So if you don't have one, we can create one with you, and then you'll have access to all of the meetings, where everyone's meeting, what the next steps are, and any information that they've put out there that they can share with you to get you up to date. And I can let you know of things that are upcoming in the community. Also, our current website is www.iamfortampa.com, and it's the number 4, iamfortampa.com. That will be redirected to the new website once the name is finalized, and you'll be able to connect and find any information there. So thank you so much for your interest in this project, and I really look forward to meeting you and having you get more involved, and to having you hopefully attend our summit, which will be November 4th, 5th, and 6th at the Convention Center in Tampa, Florida. Thank you.